pick and place, you'll need to set up a couple of things before it'll work correctly. The first thing that you'll notice is we have to understand what your pick and place file is. There's a setup process for your pick and place file. It's very quick and typically easy to do because of the automatic file parsing that happens. If automatic file parsing fails, you can select the type of parser, and then based on that, you'll have good or bad results. Here we see that automatic parsing fails, so we can try KiCAD because I know I've uploaded a KiCAD file. The table here matches the content of my pick and place file, so I know it's good. If I go to custom, I can set a bunch more options which deal with basically every kind of CSV or comma-separated file style that you can have. Here the custom parser hasn't been set up correctly because it's not a standard CSV file. It's a KiCAD pick and place file. When I select this, I get a table which has the correct output verifying that it is good. I can click Next, and then I need to match the actual headers that I'm using with the headers that the system is expecting. Our software system will guess what your headers are supposed to be. For example, in my original file I had something named Package, but the system needs it to be called Footprint. Here you can see that it's marked as going from Package to Footprint. Here's a header called Rot, becoming Rotation. And when I look through the data, I see that it makes sense. Ref or reference becomes name, and these are names of parts. You'll just want to make sure that all of your header names match an appropriate value for the system's interpretation. The only one here that the software didn't know what to do with was side, and we can tell it to ignore that one because we only do single-sided placements, and the side field isn't useful for us. Everything else here looks correct. After we've set up our header information, the next thing that we need to do is associate the footprints with the actual part in the footprint editor. Here you can see that I've already got some footprints set up. So I'm deleting that footprint, and now there's a bunch of red squares. Now I'm deleting all my footprints so I can show you how to associate them with parts on the board. Every red square represents a part that doesn't have a footprint. I click on one of those parts and then click on the pads that belong to that part. For this one I know that it's just those two pads. Once I select them, then I click Save Selection, and then the printer will take the pad's information combined with the part information to generate a footprint for it. In this case, we can see that there were 6 different parts that are all SMD 0805 footprints. They have the same footprint name, so when I go and click on each of them, I see that their footprint is SMD 0805. I have this other part here which has the footprint diode 0805, and I know that it's made up of those 2 pads. I click on the 2 pads, save it, and that component has been added. For the SOIC, I can click on that and then drag my mouse while holding it down over those 8 pads. Then save that selection, and I have a footprint for my SOIC. Now that I've got all of my footprints set up, I can move on to the rest of my configuration.